Hello there and welcome back to another video, and I'm going to be talking about one of my favourite topics. It is Liverpool, obviously. Now obviously Liverpool, as you well know, and by the way, I will say at the start of this video, this could end up being a long video. I'm not anticipating it being longer than like 12 minutes, but it could, because this thing doesn't shut up very, very easily. It just opens and it talks and talks and talks. And once my thought processes start going, they just keep on going as well. But I just want to talk a little bit about Liverpool if I can. So feel free to stick around for this one. There's going to be some transfer look-ats and things like that. We're going to look at some people that we could be possibly looking at and my opinions on them as well as options as we do. So hey, feel free to let me know what you think in the comments below. Who do you think Liverpool should be targeting, and what do you think is actually next for Liverpool? The season isn't over. We know that. There's 7 games left to go. We won the title with 7 games left to go. Brand new record for the Premier League. Record smashing Liverpool, that is what we are. But still, we can now freely and sort of easily look at what we can do next. What can be our next set of moves in the Premier League and obviously other competitions as well, because that is where we fell away this season. That's something that we can look at. Obviously, we won the Champions League last season. We've won the Premier League this season. But we got knocked out of all of the other cup competitions this season as well. And that is kind of what happened last season. We went through, got the Champions League, but we got knocked out of all the other competitions, and we're obviously 1 point close behind in the Premier League last season. But even so, there are still improvements that Liverpool can make. As much of a juggernaut as we have been, and if I just quickly get the Premier League table up right here, we have obviously the best defence in the Premier League. We do, without a shadow of a doubt. We have the best defence in the Premier League, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, because once you get down here, it's horrific. Man City, obviously, they're the better goal scorers by 7. Not much, but still, they are still better. We have the best defence right now. We obviously have the best win record, the best draws, the best, obviously, amount of losses. We've obviously only taken 1. 2 losses in the Premier League out of 2 seasons is ridiculous. It is. It's ridiculous. I don't remember a team that lost so few. I don't know the Arsenal Invincibles record overall. I know it was something like 49 undefeated, because that's one of their songs. I don't know whether they went... I know they went the Invincible season, but then the next season when they lost, and I think it was against either Everton or United because Rooney scored or something like that. Anyway, I don't know how many times they lost in that season after that. But regardless, we have probably one of the best, defensive and win ratio to loss ratio leads ever in history. I'm saying that. I don't know if it's factual because I didn't look it up, but that's what I'm saying. Anyway, so how people look at it and you think, how do you improve on that? You've also got to look at the fact that Liverpool, over this season, have had some games that have been exceptionally tight. Leicester, where we won 2-1, and it was James Milner 95th minute penalty. We nicking it late on against Aston Villa when it was like 2-1. We've been 1-0 down to Bournemouth like just before the pandemic break and everything paused. And we had to use everything in our power to get that game back, to win it 2-1. A James Milner clearance off the line and stuff like that. There are things that we need to improve. Now, whether that's tactically or that's personnel, I'm not entirely sure. One of the things that we definitely need to do, and we're going to look at today a lot more in depth, is squad depth. Squad depth is still something that we need to look at. And that is in less so about midfield, definitely about defence, more central defence than anything, and also the attacking areas as well. We're going to look at those as well, more the wide areas, if anything. But one of the pages that Sky has is obviously a Liverpool transfer news and rumours. We're going to look at Adama Traore a little bit more, in a bit more detail, but not just him. We're just going to look at some alternatives as well. This came out of nowhere, really. Now, Man United have been the ones that have been touted to go for Koulibaly over anybody else. In my opinion, Koulibaly is better off going to Man City. Now, it says here Man City are leading the race to sign Koulibaly, but throughout the Premier League season, it has been Man United we're going for Koulibaly. And let's just read this. Right, Liverpool are expected to make a lunge for Koulibaly in the coming days, with Dejan Lovren offered as a make-weight. If Napoli take that deal with Lovren as a make-weight, then I don't really want to say anything offensive about Napoli, but that's really dumb and stupid if you take Lovren in place of Koulibaly and a bit of money. Just keep Koulibaly, honestly, do. Would I like Koulibaly at Liverpool? Of course I would, absolutely. But the only problem with that bringing in someone that is of that level of experience and that level of quality, what do you do to Liverpool's back line? People immediately jump to, well, imagine a Van Dijk and Koulibaly partnership. What's Joe Gomez done wrong? Joe Gomez has been fantastic. Since he came back from injury, and even last season, Joe Gomez has been absolutely brilliant. So why would we then, bring in someone like a Koulibaly when we already have Joe Gomez? And I understand about having quality backup, but having a quality backup centre-back like that, you either stunt Joe Gomez's growth as a centre-back and knock his confidence in the process by bringing in someone like Koulibaly when Joe Gomez has done nothing wrong. Yes, people would say, yeah, but imagine him coming in, strength, squad depth and everything like that, and, you get rid of Lovren. Great, that's cool. But Koulibaly's not going to accept being sat on the bench while he's being outplayed by, like, Joe Gomez. Obviously, no one is going to dislodge Virgil van Dijk unless he ever got injured, touch wood. Thank God I've got a wooden desk. And some people have even said, I say some people, it is literally a few people, oh, you could play three at the back. When have we ever played three at the back? I genuinely don't remember it. Not in the last 2 seasons, no way. Not in the last 2 seasons. We may have played it like once or something in the last 2 seasons, and I'm just not remembering it. And then you've got to think, would they thrive in a 3 at the back? A Koulibaly, Van Dijk, Joe Gomez, 3 at the back. And then you've got to sacrifice someone in midfield. Or you've got to sacrifice someone else somewhere, like in the attacking thirds or something like that. You're going to have Trent and Robbo on the left-hand side and the right-hand side. And then attacking-wise, you have to have, Salah, Mane, Bobby Firmino, yeah, pretty much. So then what do you do with midfield? Fabinho and Henderson? Maybe. Could do. But then you're also missing out on, you could miss out on a Gini Wijnaldum, you miss out on an Naby Keita, miss out on an Oxlade-Chamberlain. I don't see that happening. I don't think we're going to go to a 3 to the back. Koulibaly to Liverpool probably won't happen. But Liverpool will need to bring in a quality centre-back of some sort of quality anyway. It's not going to be Koulibaly quality. Let's just get that straight right now. We aren't going to be doing 80 to 70 odd mil, 89, however much he's going to cost. I don't actually know how much he's going to cost to take anywhere. We won't be doing that. When I say a Man City would benefit more from Koulibaly than we would, it would just cause us a few problems, in my opinion, by dislodging the fact Joe Gomez and Van Dijk. It's been an absolutely exceptional partnership. We've only conceded 21 goals in the Premier League the entire season. That's ridiculous. How can anyone not be happy with that? Opposition fans might look at it and say, as if you would turn your nose up at Koulibaly. It's not a case of turning your nose up. It's looking and appreciating what we've already got and how well it's doing. And people might say, yeah, you want to build on that. It's like, yeah, totally understand that. But let's, all right, maybe not a Koulibaly, but is there anyone I'm just throwing a name out there, is it Diego Carlos in La Liga, a Jonathan Tah, someone of that sort of ilk where they're not spoken of in God-level terms like Koulibaly and would want to be starting week in, week out. You take these players, I'm just throwing out names, we aren't linked to a Jonathan Tah, or we have been to Diego Carlos, but even so, bring these guys in that would give us quality and they would accept being rotated as well. It's difficult to find that sort of blend. Koulibaly isn't going to want to accept being rotated, so that's just a non-starter in my opinion. Thiago Alcantara, very good midfielder for Bayern Munich. Don't think that's going to happen. I think Bayern want to snap him back up. Coutinho, no. Alaba, no. Apparently he's going to be on his way to Chelsea. Jimenez, I would certainly take him. I would absolutely take Jimenez. He's completely different to everything we have in attack. He's a big physical guy. He makes good runs. He's got good pace, power. He's got powerful shots as well. Good passing. And people might say, well, you've got Divock Origi. It's yeah, but Origi's not a power forward. He's a very good hold-up man as well. Very good at holding up the ball, assessing the options that are around him and using them and getting them, getting into good positions to get on the end of crosses. Him and Traore are a fantastic partnership up front. I'd love to see it happen, but I doubt it will. Only because when you've got the likes of Man United that are going to be in there for him, which even then, because Halo will probably be leaving Man United at the end of this season, whenever that is, they will probably be wanting someone so that you can have Rashford on the wings or wherever you want. So they'll probably be wanting to throw the cash at Raul Jimenez. Ousmane Dembele, no. I wouldn't want it to happen either, because it'd just be like having Daniel Sturridge back. And that's no disrespect to Daniel Sturridge. Sturridge was awesome and I loved him, and I always wished that he was just fit all the time, and he just never was. Apart from the first season of him and Suarez, great, fantastic, consistent. Suarez leaves, injuries, injuries, injuries. Similar sort of thing with Ousmane Dembele. Hasn't hit the ground running with Barcelona, primarily because he gets injured whenever he tries to run. But no, very, very talented footballer, very exciting footballer. If he ever sorts his injury issues out, great. I'm all for it, but no, not until then. Now, let's go and look at Adama Traore. Right, Adama Traore is one that we keep getting linked to right now. Take away his goals and assists and stuff like that, that's his stats for the season. He's a fantastic player. Very, very fantastic player. Links up very well and works very well with the Wolves front line. He's obviously pretty much, if he isn't the fastest player in the Premier League, I don't know who is, because it ain't Aubameyang anymore. He has to be the fastest player in the league with acceleration as well. His acceleration to get from a stop-start is ridiculous and just causes absolute havoc for defences. Caused havoc for our defence as well. Very, very good player for Wolves. Would I like to see him at Liverpool? Any Liverpool fan would be mental to say that they wouldn't. Honestly, whether he's, if he's providing competition for Mohamed Salah, great, absolutely fantastic. Because I don't believe Liverpool are going to be selling Salah anytime soon. No way, not in my opinion. He would be fantastic. He would also be, ignore that figure there. They're never accurate. He would be 100 million plus, I believe. He is that highly rated and that highly sought after by lots of other clubs. And I don't just mean in England either. I think he could actually be really sought after by clubs abroad, if not La Liga, maybe even a return to Barcelona or something like that. Who knows? He's going to be ridiculously expensive. So then you've got to look at it, right, what would your alternatives be? And a good alternative, in my opinion, Alan Saint-Maximin. Alan Saint-Maximin. Plays for Newcastle at the moment and is quite literally their most exciting player. He is fantastic to watch on the ball as well. He's a year younger than Adama Traore. Both players fit the sort of profile that Liverpool would go for if they're bringing in a player. The sort of age range that they go for, 23, 24. He's brilliant. His dribbling is fantastic. His speed is brilliant as well. Really, really, no one's as quick as Traore. But his acceleration is very, very good as well. And in a Newcastle team that they're not doing too badly in the league, but he is the one player that makes me, like, if a Newcastle game's on TV, I want to watch it if he's playing, because he's really, really great to watch. And he would be awesome. He's probably more skillful, like literally like skillful using skill play than Traore, whereas Traore is just a speed demon with, he's not just. He's a speed demon with pace and power, very good crossing, but he would be an absolute nightmare on either wing. Either wing. And that would be really, really good for us, because he's good with both feet as well. He could cross with his right foot, his left foot, shoot with his right foot or left foot. Could be a really, really good option. Would be unfortunate for Newcastle to lose him to a top 6 team, if not the champions. But yeah, he would be absolutely fantastic. I would love to see him. If he came to Liverpool, I'm all about it. That'd be absolutely great. Really, and I think he's got good work rate as well. He's had a couple of injury issues as well in the past, and with Newcastle. So if he can maybe sort of iron them out, seems to be hitting a little bit of consistency right now. But if he can make sure he stays injury free, I don't see any reason why he couldn't be an option for Liverpool. We move on to one of our players that's on loan at Bournemouth, and a struggling Bournemouth at the moment. He's actually got some really good... I didn't know he'd scored 7 goals this season. That's actually really good. Harry Wilson, I'm a fan of anyone that comes from the academy and wants to do well. It doesn't look like the sounds that come from Liverpool, or big Liverpool accounts and stuff that are sort of in the know, but they're most generally not, is that Harry Wilson will probably get sold and won't make it into the Liverpool team. The one thing that there's a couple of things I really like about him. You know, he works hard in games, and his set pieces are ridiculous sometimes. He's got, I think it was with Derby last year. I think he scored a free kick against Man United or something like that. It's not just because it was against United. It was a very, very good goal. But he's got the ability to score an absolute corker, an absolute screamer as well. The only thing that might let him down is a little bit of a lack of pace. That might let him down, and also his opportunities as well. Yes, he's been playing at Bournemouth. He's scored a good couple of goals at Bournemouth as well. It's not just on him to get Bournemouth out of the situation that they're in at the moment. But even so, he's a good player. Is he a Liverpool level player? I'm not entirely sure. I'd be up for giving him a go. I really would. I'd be up for giving him a good go. If he comes back to Liverpool and wants to work with the Liverpool system, see what happens there. But all the things that keep getting said about Harry Wilson at the moment sort of points towards him not having a future at Liverpool, which would be a bit of a disappointment. But the last one we're going to look at as well is Arsenal's Bukayo Saka. One of the shining lights of Arsenal's season this season. He's very, very young, 18 years old, but he seems to be becoming a bit of a key figure for the Arsenal team as well. Once he gets played in his proper position with Arsenal, which hasn't happened recently, but he can get in good positions. He's got a good left foot. He's got a good eye for a pass, good pace down the wings as well. He's getting a bit more physical as well, getting much more involved in attacking play. And when he plays in his preferred position of left winger or left wing back, so he's got a bit of freedom to come up and down. His work rate up and down that left-hand side is very, very good. And of course, he's a very young player. So he's got so many years worth left of developing to do. So many years left. For some reason, Arsenal haven't got him signed up to a new contract, and I think he's apparently in his last year. So God knows what he could go for. He could stay on for another season and go on a free when he's 19. He could do that. Whether it's worth it, if he's an Arsenal through and through, he might turn around and stay, sign a contract, all that sort of business. Fair play. But if he's not Arsenal through and through, he's going to be looking at Arsenal as where are you going in the future? What is the forward plan? And are we going to make it consistently up the table, or are we going to be sitting around 9th position? Because if we are, I don't necessarily want to be a part of that. That might be something that he considers as well. And when the champions of England come in looking for you, or are interested in you, or at least the top 4, top 6 are interested in you, and it looks like they've got a project, they've got something solid as well. As a young player at 18, who is I think he's in the last 12 months of his contract at Arsenal, and they've got to get some. For me, if I was an Arsenal fan, which I'm not, obviously, but if I was an Arsenal fan, I'd be absolutely screaming at my club saying, "Why aren't you signing this guy up? He's got all the potential to be something great." I don't know. That's just my opinion. I think that all of these guys could be good, different options to Adama Traore. He's going to be ridiculously expensive. But I think out of all of them, even over Adama Traore, I think I would actually prefer Alan Saint-Maximin. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments below. This has actually turned out to be a bit of a longer video than I thought it was going to be. But yeah, as I said, there was a lot of stuff to talk about. I've talked mainly about the attacking areas for Liverpool. There are areas that I need to look at in terms of defence, like defenders that we could bring in. I assume that Dejan Lovren will be outgoing. We've still got Matip. Maybe there's a Nat Phillips could come through from the academy. Obviously, I'm not concerned about the left-hand side and the right-hand side with Nico Williams and all that sort of business. But hey, let me know if there's anything that you're thinking about these attacking players and also the plan for Liverpool moving forward. What do we need to prioritise? Is it purely just squad depth? Or is there specific places that you think that Liverpool should be looking to go into? One of the ones that I want to talk about in a future video is the goalkeeping situation behind Alisson. Let me know what you think of that in the comments below as well. Thank you ever so much for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please do ignore the fact that my camera has frozen a couple of times. It's my phone, and I need to actually get a proper camera. But anyway, thank you ever so much for watching, and I'll catch you later.